Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I'd like you to meet. His name is Mark Mahoney. He is a receiver slash tight end at Brown University. Nice to have you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, again, I had to mention there, you are listed as a wide receiver, but dude, with a guy your size, we have to kind of look at you as a tight end prospect going into this upcoming draft. So, but Mark, I do want to get a chance to meet you and hear your story. So go ahead and introduce yourself and we'll get started.
Yeah, so I'm Mark Mahoney. I play wide receiver slash tight end here at Brown. I'm from Cohasset, Massachusetts. I grew up there, went to high school there. After I graduated, I did a post-grad year at Choate. And then, like I said, I ended up here at Brown. So
Cool.
yeah.
That pretty much takes care of it really quick. So again, Cohasset, Massachusetts, Choate, Rosemary Hall in Connecticut. And let's go ahead and let's back up and let's paint the picture for people for you as as an athlete. I do have in my notes that in high school, also played some other sports, some baseball, some basketball. So paint the picture of you as an athlete growing up, and maybe some memories of you in high school.
Yeah, so football was the last sport I started playing. I started playing the other two before. So I was more focused on probably basketball. I've always been a little taller. But once I got to high school, I started taking football a lot more seriously than the other two. Um, but yeah, senior year was a lot of fun. We came away from the state championship at Cohasset. And then, like I said, I went to Choate after that. Only played, well, no, I played football and basketball there. Basketball, I started playing a little later in the season, but love my time there too.
Gotcha. So you're a big basketball fan? I mean, growing up in the
Yeah,
area, you Celtics guy or what?
yeah, huge Celtics fan.
Hey, I had to take a stab at it, and I knew I was going to get it
Yeah,
right. So,
yeah.
um, cool. So, played some of those other sports, but ultimately chose football. And I have to ask, well, why? What is it you love so much about the game of football?
I love the physicality of it. No other sports like that, especially not baseball or basketball. Also, I just naturally I was a little better at it too. I think I have really good hands, so I just gravitated towards playing receiver. Um, my dad played football growing up, so he's kind of the one that I look up to in terms of that and got me into it.
Gotcha. So, what did he play like position wise?
He played linebacker.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, definitely different mindset, of course, but I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, you do have that physicality that you said that you really enjoy, with the game. And so you're being recruited, and obviously, you know, is what is he? And I think that maybe that might have been part of the whole recruiting process for you. Like, where do we put him on the field? Do we put
yeah,
him at wide receiver? Maybe do we follow in daddy's footsteps and be a linebacker? I don't know how you're being recruited. So you talk me through like the whole recruiting process for you.
yeah. So like the size and the size and speed helped me now because I kind of move around and play receiver and tight end. But coming out of high school, it kind of hurt me. A lot of schools viewed me as a little too slow to play receiver, and then other schools viewed me as too light to play tight end. And in their defense, I was like 200 pounds coming out of high school, so I was a lot lighter back then. But so that's why I ended up doing the post grad year too. Um,
Gotcha.
I've used the senior tape and then put on some weight before I got some more offers. But Brown was the only school that recruited me as a receiver, and I ended up here. So
Well, hey, and kind of hard to refuse an Ivy League offer.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, uh, of all of the schools, leagues that you could potentially, end up in, getting to the Ivy Leagues, I think a lot of people take pride in that. Talk about that on your end, man. I mean, again, a lot of people when they think of the Ivy Leagues, they don't necessarily think of football. They think of more so the academic side of things. Talk about Brown. Talk about Brown and why it's so special for you.
Yeah, I mean, I love Brown. I mean, I'm doing my fifth year here. I've lived here every summer since I've been here. The campus is great. Love everybody here. Love all my teammates. I just really feel at this point like Brown's like a second home for me.
Cool. And so what have you been doing there academically? I'm just kind of curious. I mean, again, like you said, you've been there. This is now your fifth year. So what are you on, man? You on like your second, third degree? What's happening?
So the way it works, you can only play for 8 semesters here. So I had to take this past spring off, and this fall semester's replacing it. So it's a weird track, but it's still just 8 semesters. But I'm
Gotcha.
majoring in econ here too.
What was your major again? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Economics.
Economics.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's pause there for a second. With an economics degree, and let's just say football doesn't exist, what do you see yourself doing with that? I'm just curious.
Something in finance, probably I would try to get into New York City, a job there.
Cool. Well, certainly, with an Ivy League degree, I mean, that's definitely a possibility there for you. But obviously, right now, people are looking at you as a legitimate NFL prospect who has a lot of scouts' eyes right now as a good quality receiver there for Brown. So, go ahead and talk more about how they have used you on that offense. Again, you're listed as a wide receiver,
Yeah.
but you do line up in line in the slot. But talk more. I kind of want to hear your words about that offense and how you're used.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I'm about half and half, probably either outside or inside as a tight end. And sometimes I've had some experience in the slot too, but a little less. But yeah, I've kind of been everywhere. I've been X, Y, Z, or H. Usually when we move around personnel, sometimes we do me inside and another tight end. So it's kind of two tight end personnel where you can split me out with three other receivers also in. And it's kind of a mismatch there. I like to think that no matter who I'm lined up, I'm either faster or bigger and stronger than them. So I like to use that to my advantage.
Well, I mean, hey, if you can use that physicality, bully some people, get open. I mean, works.
Yeah.
Growing up in the New England area, might just assume, and you can maybe correct me that you bit of maybe are you a Gronk fan?
Yeah,
Just trying to
100%.
feel
Yeah, I wore 87 at Cohasset because of him. So
awesome. Who do you think's the top guy these days in the NFL with him, doing his own thing?
I think it's still Kelsey. It's kind of like a down year this year, but I think it's still him.
So, what is it about them and their style that sets them apart?
Well, I think they're pretty different, but um Gronk's I mean, blocking ability he's probably the best blocking tight end ever. And then his size along with his speed was crazy. And he had great hands too, making one-handed catches. I mean, he was so hard to bring down. And then Kelsey he just freestyles out there. I mean, he's almost more like a receiver than a tight end, but his playmaking ability is just crazy with him and Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anybody that maybe perhaps we can say that you somewhat play like, definitely, more so Kelsey because of how you're utilized. I'm not saying that you're Kelsey, but I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, something certainly to strive towards. Um, but as we kind of dig a little deeper into you as a player, as an athlete, as potentially, again, I'm looking at you as a tight end prospect.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk through something like maybe your favorite route. Like, what's your favorite play that you like hearing that you love to execute for your quarterback?
My favorite's being outside and running the post. I love obviously deep balls are the best. For the flashiest plays, but I like post. You can still make a move at the top. You're going across the middle, but it's still a deep ball. So it's kind of a combination of everything.
Cool. And one thing that I've told a lot of people is don't sleep on the Ivy League. The Ivy League, I think sometimes people completely overlook it. because you guys, I mean, you're not in like the tournament, which I think somebody
Yeah.
needs to fix. That's not fair at all. But that doesn't necessarily mean you guys don't have great talent all over. I remember interviewing your teammate earlier this season, in Isaiah Reed, very awesome DB there. But anybody else there at Brown that we need to give a shout out to, man? Talk about some of your teammates real quick.
Yeah, I think on the defensive side of the ball, Caleb Moorhead, someone who doesn't get as much attention as he should. He plays linebacker for us. And he's another guy that's crazy fast for his size too. And he's making plays like all over the field.
Cool. And so you've been at this for a while, and you've had some of these teammates that you go against regularly, like him, who have really helped you along, and gotten you where you are. When we look at maybe perhaps some of your teammates, coaches, even some people outside of football, who has been your biggest influence? You had mentioned your dad earlier. I don't know if you wanted to expound upon that further, or maybe perhaps somebody else.
Yeah, I think my dad's definitely been my biggest influence. I've obviously looked up to him my whole life. Like I said, he played football. He was at BU for a little bit while they still had a team playing football there. So I mean, it's definitely him. He's the one who got me into the game originally. So
Gotcha. And again, just trying to double back here to some of the other things that we talked about. I mean, obviously being recruited, you're a scrawny guy, but you have now changed into this massive human being. And so you go from 200 pounds to what are you now? 240, 250? What's
yeah,
your current height and weight?
240. I'm 240 right now, 6'5", 240.
So, again, a lot has changed. How did you get there, man? It's just a bunch of protein shakes or what?
Yeah, no, I got to give credit to our strength coach, Coach O. Those workouts were no joke. They made me put on a ton of weight. Like I said, I've been here every summer. So all those summer workouts and then winter workouts, those paid off along with a lot of eating.
Well, hey, that's kind of what people are expecting, I guess. Take
Yeah.
advantage of all those meals they've been giving you there. So, um, uh, along with their weight, obviously, that's kind of the biggest thing. But other than that, what do you feel has been the biggest change for you as a player? Like when we look back at you, coming in as a freshman versus now.
I think it's been having some of a tight end role. For me in high school, I was only receiver. So my junior year here, I started doing a little more tight end stuff, blocking linebackers, wrapping inside, split flowing. So that type of stuff, even though I had the size, I didn't really have any reps at it. So it was pretty foreign to me. And I had some trouble with it at the beginning, but like this past off season, it was something I really worked on a ton. Some of the offensive linemen, stuff like that. And so this year, I think I've made a pretty big improvement in that.
So I mean, you sitting in on some of these O-line meetings, is that kind of what you're trying to do, or how does that
Not
work?
sitting in the meetings, but like doing some field work with offensive linemen. Because I mean, I rep perimeter blocking on cornerbacks all the time in practice, but sometimes in practice it's hard because I'm with the receivers, so it's hard to get reps against DN stuff like that. So I'll be doing bag work with the offensive linemen over the summer. So that's something that helped a lot.
Gotcha. I mean, a little easier to bully some tiny corners.
Yeah.
Hey, there's this 5'10", 180 pound guy. You just throw him out away like it's comical. But definitely a little different when you're facing somebody your own size. So
Yeah.
um yeah, so yeah, definitely continue to continue to strive towards what you're trying to do. I do want to highlight some of this season as well as your overall career. I mean, Brown University is really fighting and clawing these days. Trying to get some wins. Currently sitting at 3-3 on the season, and you guys had a really good win against Harvard. But talk for you about like some of your favorite moments.
Yeah, I mean, the Harvard one really stands out. That was a huge win. That was our first win against them in like 10 years or something like that, maybe more. So to do it at home too was pretty special. Um, that was big. Our win against Princeton was a big one last year. Like that also was our first time beating them in a while. So those two stand out to me the most. The league games
Gotcha.
always stand out, especially.
Gotcha. And give me a great memory from perhaps one of those games. Is there like a play that you could walk me through?
Yeah. So Harvard this year, I caught the game-winning touchdown. So that one stuck out to me a little bit with 20 seconds left.
So 20 seconds left. What's the play call?
It was just four verts. So I was a lone receiver to the right to the boundary. Just ran a go ball and Jake, the quarterback, threw it up and it was open. Worked out.
Yeah. And if we're being real, a guy who's 6'5" is almost always open.
Yeah.
You just have to you just kind of have to get it to you so that you
Yeah.
can get your hands on it. Which dude coming down with that game-winning catch is, I think it's everyone's dream to be able to
Yeah.
do that. And certainly a good one there for you. Um, so obviously, right now, you guys are sitting at a 500, right now, but I don't necessarily think that you guys are out of it for this year, because certainly we have a lot more games left to go. What do you guys got to do to finish strong?
Yeah. We just have to be consistent, play our game. I think a lot of times we've struggled in one half and then picked it up in another, or started hot, then ended cold. So I think we can beat everyone we play as long as we put two good halves together. So I think that's all it's going to take.
I mean, a lot of these losses really aren't like blown out losses.
Yeah,
It's
not at
it's not.
all.
You guys are in each and every game. I mean, it's really just a matter of maybe who has the ball last, or it's like almost like a flip of the coin sometimes as to who's going to come out on top. So uh, certainly something to watch as the season continues for you guys. So. Mark, I do want to get a chance to meet you outside of football a little bit. So maybe if you can shed some light on you as a person, a bit of your character, any of your interests and that sort of thing, special talents, or some interesting fact about yourself. But give me something.
Yeah, so like I said, I grew up in Cohasset. That's right in the water. So I love the ocean, love going on the boats, going to the beach over the summer. Um, I'm a big fan of playing poker. That's something me and a lot of my friends do here during the school year and especially over the summer. And a fun fact, I'm pretty good at juggling. It's something I spent a lot of time on getting better at.
Gotcha. Is there perhaps a talent that you would love to have that maybe you don't? I mean, obviously you're able to juggle, which is great, but um, what else would you like to
Yeah.
add to
I want to
yourself?
be able to do a backflip. That's something I've always wanted to be able to do.
All
I can't
right.
get it.
I don't know what coaches would say to that. It's like, Mark, I don't want you doing backflips because I don't want you like spraining yourself
Yeah.
or doing something silly, but I don't know, maybe like in a pool or something, you just uh, you know, work with it on that end. Uh let's see here. I want to see if I could maybe throw you some questions again just for fun.
Mhm.
Favorite snack food?
Baked Lay's chips.
Nothing wrong with that one.
Yeah.
Healthier version of it, so it's okay. Um is there a TV show that you like to watch, recommend that others binge watch?
Yeah, Game of Thrones is by far my favorite show.
Awesome. How about let's see here. I got this list sometimes. Favorite superhero?
Batman.
Batman. Love it. Let's see here. Um, all right. Here's a fun one that I give guys every so often. It's karaoke night, and Mark Mahoney. I'm going to hand you the microphone. What are you singing for the masses, man? What are you very confident that you're able to go out there and deliver?
Shipping up to Boston. Not too many words, but it's high energy, so it gets the job done.
All right. Simple, to the point, high energy. Do you see yourself as a high energy kind of guy out there?
When I need to be during the game, yeah, sometimes.
Okay, okay. Um, Other than some of these, great tight ends in the league, is there maybe a, celebrity that you love an opportunity to meet? You know, Actor, comedian, musician. What else are you into, man? Who would you love a chance to meet?
Yeah, I'd love to meet Dave Chappelle. He's my favorite comedian.
Dave Chappelle. He's certainly a fun guy to watch. So,
Yeah.
um, well, Mark, we're our time's coming to a close, and just want to really just give you one last opportunity to tell people really more about what you bring to the table as a prospect. I know that there's some scouts who think very highly of you, and maybe others that still doubt you. What do you have to say to these people, and why would you be a great addition to their football team?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm willing to take on, I'm sure everyone says they're hardworking, but I'm sure I'm willing to take on any role in the team that I can. Like I said, I think I have a really good combination of size and speed. I don't think many people have the experience of running a post, then the next play a comeback, and then the play after that being put into the wing and having the wrap up to a Mike linebacker in the box. So I think I have a pretty unique experience of running routes well, but then also being able to block within the box and being physical.
Yeah, hey, it kind of goes without saying when you're actually listed as a wide receiver. You've been a wide receiver for so long. So, I mean, you as a receiver comes naturally. And so, hey, this guy can run, the entire route tree that you ask him to do, can line up anywhere, inline slot, and is willing to take on all challengers. Mark, want to wish you all the best moving forward, and best of luck to you this season. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Again, I got with me Mark Mahoney, tight end slash receiver at Brown University. Check him out.